Ciao amici, sono Ottaviano Dell'Acqua, sono uno degli attori di tutti i film di Lucio Fulci. Io sono questo zombie qua, con i vermi reali nell'occhio. È un piacere essere qui, vorrei salutare e fare un grande saluto e un bacio alla Dead Corpse Society. Thank you, ciao.
Rock and roll!
6 o'clock already, it was just in the middle of a dream. I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late, cause then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, cause that's my fun day. Why I don't have to Monday. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
Woo! Woo! What on earth is that?
Hey,
Yes.
what's going on, guys?
The
Pretty
light.
cool.
The lamp.
I'll talk about this in a minute.
Yeah.
Woo! What's going on, gang? Hey, welcome to Death Curse Society, Monday Maniacs. It's another week. We got something to talk about tonight. I'm Red Crank. We got the Zigzag and Phase down there. The Colonel is still on assignment, but only for a couple more weeks, it sounds like.
Couple
3,
more.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think
3 at max.
3 max with play.
I'm not assuming this softball team's that good, honestly.
I haven't been hearing anything. He hasn't been telling us, so
Yeah.
they could be killing it for all we know.
Well,
Mm,
yeah,
the
that
fact-
would be his luck. You know,
the
he'd
fact that he gets home kind of early, it sounds like,
yeah,
after a game starts.
Okay.
Because even like a couple weeks ago, he was like, I may be able to join you pretty soon.
Well, maybe they're putting out the blowouts, man. You don't have to assume. Maybe they're scoring 7 scores. It's been a long time. I don't know what they call them. Home runs. And
Very nice.
they're just like, what is it? The pity rule or something where you score
Mercy.
too many home runs and there's
The mercy rule. The 4-letter athlete right down there, Phase. Yeah. Way to go. Way to go.
Yeah, I'm a podcaster for a reason.
Thank you for that athletic explanation.
Oh, look, I've played softball too. That's the sad part. But anyway,
Yeah. Well, all right. What's going on, gang? Hey, Ziggy, where the hell you been?
yeah, man. Just all work all the time. It's great, but Mother's Day is this weekend, so things will dramatically quiet down after this weekend. But yeah, dude, I'm like ground to the nub already. You know, I got a migraine going tonight. I can't even lie about it. But I mean, I couldn't miss this one. This one was too cool. So
You look a little weathered.
you know, I'll see how it goes, man. If I might need to jump out a little early tonight if it keeps ringing in on me. But so far, I'm fighting it. I'm hanging in. So
All right. I'll try to keep the woos to a minimum.
that's all right. I got my sound adjusted, so it's all good, man.
All right. What about you, Phase? How's your week?
it's doing well. I just want to point out this comment real quick from Jimmy because it's funny. All the touchdowns, basket scores, hockey slaps. Thank you, sir. The doc says, you know what Jack says? All work and no play makes Ziggy a dull boy.
Well, he's had what, Easter and Mother's Day like within 3 weeks this time or 4 weeks. So it's just everything was crammed in there this month.
Yeah, that's rough, man.
Non-stop trucks and dumb questions, pretty much.
No one in the Michigan area buy flowers for your dad for Father's Day. Please give him a week. Give him a month off.
No, don't do that. But
Okay, don't do that. But
Do people buy flowers for Father's Day? I don't know.
Mother's Day, yeah.
Mother's Day, yes, but
Yeah.
not. He's got a week left, and then I expect to see a much more relaxed Zigzag.
It should be a little better. Yeah. I'm a little frazzled right now, but it's all right.
Dare I say he will be in the Zigzag zone by then, hopefully.
BK is suggesting pot. He heard it's good for headaches. Thanks, BK.
Not tonight.
It's not working tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, yeah. I see a couple of people saying I'm back. Yeah, for the week at least, and more than likely next week, because we have a pretty special show next week. I think you guys are going to be into.
This is true. It'll be a good one.
It will be a good one. It's always a good one. But yeah, I've been trying to focus on some karaoke stuff and getting some new ideas off the ground. I'm getting close, but I'm seeing a need for a pretty heavy monetary investment that I'm going to have to bank here over the next couple of months and try to get going. So hoping to start some of that stuff, next school year once August rolls around. Because it's really only going to be really beneficial if the college kids are in my town.
Right.
If the college kids are gone, that's going to kind of kill 30-40% of my audience or more. I could use them to help boost this right out of the gate. Let's see.
You're in the tunnels there. I don't know what happened.
I'm in the tunnels?
Like the audio tunnels. Like you're
Underwater.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, you sound rough.
I'm still on the mic. Hold on. Is that a little better?
That's
Yeah.
better.
Let me actually move this.
Well, why don't we take this moment to thank
How's
our
that?
Yeah.
members. That sounds excellent.
All right. Yeah, get in there, Faze.
Final girls and guys, I'll go ahead and take over for this. We got Christy, C-Phase, Lorena, Beatty, Alex, Robert, and Tyrone. And our crazy Rouse, we got Bell's Fancy Creations, Dr. Smiley, Morgan Crypt Horror, Raymond, and the whole damn Enchilada Pod. Bell's Fancy Creations sounds like we still need a payment from you guys, so I will be in contact. Was that right?
We don't need to blast them on here.
Way to put them on blast.
I suppose that's fair, but
Yeah.
Rich! Rich!
We'll talk to them about that later.
the camp counselors, we got Adam, Christopher, Corey, Christy, Luke, Lou, Jimmy and Rachel, Stacy, Lynn, Orlando, Chuck Schick, Dave, Carl, Patricia, Kristen, and JJ. Yeah, sorry, Bell's Fancy Creations. We love you guys. If you want to become a member, you can support the DCS and go to deathcursesociety.com, go to that membership tab, pick whichever tier suits you best. And yeah.
Look at Faze right there. And thanks to Faze.
That's sure.
Of course.
Thanks,
Yeah, I'm not in that. I'm
Feels
not in
weird
that area.
me clicking that one.
Well, I'll say it and you click it.
Well, okay.
Thanks to our associate producer, the C Phase. C
Woo.
mother scratching Phase. How far are we in? Oh, we're 12 minutes in. We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
C motherfucking Phase. Oh man, looks like the gang's all piling in. We got Lorraine in here. Doc, the doctor is in. Joshua's here.
Very long pause there. Look at that. My God.
Yeah. Joshua's here. Joshua, I saw some of your photos and stuff from what was it? Erie Culture Fest, I think.
No, it was that Chicago Nightmare or whatever they call it.
Chicago Nightmare Weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. Whichever one it was, saw those. Those were good. Gina's here. Sue's here. Grandma Faye's. Rick's in the house. What's up, Rick? Happy birthday coming up, man. Rachel's here. Woo! I saw you pointed out Jimmy's earlier. Tyrone's here. What's up, Tyrone? Long time no see.
Yeah.
Bethany's here. What's up, Bethany? Bethany, did you see who Texas Frightmare announced today?
I haven't.
Yeah,
I know you've been wanting to talk to her.
Big one.
Yeah. Well, they had a pretty big cancellation too, actually, because I'm pissed they lost Ty West,
Yeah.
but
Oh man.
they also lost Catherine Newton today. So, but they got another one. Maybe we'll talk about that later. But I'm pretty sure Bethany probably saw that. BK's here. What's up, BK? Dun, dun, dun. Wait a minute. Why can't I highlight that comment? Let me show it. Who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a while.
I can't get in there good enough. It looks like maybe it. Oh, here's one. Rachel says, Crank knows what we spent the last week moving into the new house. Almost done. I'll come by and check that out. Maybe tomorrow sometime when I'm out and about. I got to run some errands tomorrow. So, there's Joseph Scott. What's up, Joseph? He's been posting some new stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Did a few times here. Give us some good lists. The past couple of times we've been doing a top 5, I've noticed.
Nice. Oh, they did both of them? I didn't see that. I just saw the first one. Interesting. Rick says they're doing Rosanna and Patricia. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
We're talking about, we'll just say it. Rosanna and Patricia Arquette are going to Texas Frightmare. Well, we will be
nice.
in just like 3 weeks.
Yeah, well, you two will be.
Right. We still got to do a little bit of planning for that, but there's our buddy Canadian Dave jumping in here. What's up, peeps? Go Leafs!
Go Leafs, I guess.
That's more sports talk that we.
That's hockey, isn't it? I've heard. Isn't there the hype going on with hockey?
Yes.
Good guess.
Oh yeah, and Doc says Bill and Gina, they're going to be at Texas Frightmare, getting some wreaths signed, and
Ooh, nice.
be good to catch up with them. Hopefully, there's no hot tub in the hotel this time. I'll just say it.
Well,
please do not pack the Speedo, Bill. Please don't.
It's so easy though. It's just it's.
I don't.
That big if you roll it up.
That's enough. I don't need the visual right now. Don't need the visual. Anyway, what are we talking about tonight, Ziggy?
This is interesting, man. We decided to put the writing caps on and do something we haven't really done before, and it's come up with some legacy sequels or prequels, and kind of the guideline was 10 years before or after. And we decided, we're going to take 5 movies we love and give those either a prequel or sequel. And I thought this is amazing. Unfortunately, I'm not feeling very well right now. I think I'm going to have to bail. So,
already?
Yeah.
All right.
My head is hammering from the inside out, and it's not heading down the good road. Unfortunately, I see where I'm going, and I'm going to have to go for now. I'll try to come back if maybe I can get this rectified quick, but I don't know, man. But I'm not feeling it right at the moment. I'm going to go. But yeah, have fun with it. I guess you could sit on mine till last, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll try.
Sure. Yeah. Last. Yeah. We'll show it off at the end if you don't come back. But
right. And then I came up with some fucking killer synopsises here, man.
I saw your list, but I don't know what.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're going with it. And there's a couple that I was surprised didn't make your list because you talked about at least one.
I will say before I go, I tried very hard to do City of the Living Dead. And what I ended up doing was having like the Katarina McCall characters from City of the Living Dead, The Beyond, and House by the Cemetery, kind of doing the Spider-Man thing all at the same time, and they were going to go and shut the other 4 doors of hell. But I couldn't do it, and I had 4 pages, and we had to do it in 2 paragraphs, so there's no way I could get there, and so I had to throw that one out. But I've got some other good ones. I'm going to try to come back. I'm going to try to go force the issue here, and give me a few. Get started on yours. I'll try to come back. All right, guys.
Yeah, go boot.
You love, feel better as a game.
Thanks, man.
Go boot and recover, and we'll hopefully see you in an
that's what I'm
hour.
going to try to do, man. I'm going to try to force the issue here. I'll try to be back in a few. Thanks, man. Right. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. I sleep. I'll try. Good luck. Listen to these lists, man. This is a great fucking topic. Dig this. I'll try to get back. Oops.
And some malicious advice from BK. Puke live on the air. Do it.
That might be a little awkward, but I don't like you being way down there. There we go.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't like that either. Well, back down to 2. This is fun.
Yeah. Right. So, let me give a little background on the where this idea came from. I was watching a movie for another list several months ago, one that a lot of you guys had recommended, and I had never seen it before. It had always just kind of floated through my rotation, but I finally sat down and watched it, and I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. But the entire time I was sitting there watching this movie, which is about 10 years old, I was thinking to myself, I wonder where these characters are now. And that's where the idea for, okay, legacy sequels are in right now, clearly.
Big time.
I mean, we've been inundated with them. Not just in the horror genre either. I mean, you got Top Gun Maverick, you got Blade Runner, all this weird shit. So, yeah, I was thinking about, let's think of some ideas of movies that haven't been done or even have been done as a legacy sequel, but they did it wrong. Or they did it in a way that we didn't like.
Sure.
So let's see where we can go with this. So, FaZe, you want to start first or you want me to start?
I mean, it doesn't really matter. My first one's not really... you should probably start because I'm not going to be starting strong. You know what I mean?
You're not going to be starting strong?
Yeah, well, I kind of did do a top 5 where you kind of said it was a 5 general.
Well, I mean, I don't. I mean, this could be considered a top 5 from what we've thought of now.
Sure.
But in another month or 2, it might be completely different.
That's very true.
Because that's why I was saying, hey, that's why I was thinking, let's take top out of the title of this. This is just more of a, here's some ideas we'd like to see. I didn't necessarily completely rank them, but we'll see how
they're going to be numbered on the graphics. So, I mean,
that's fine. All right, I'll start. Let me get my notes up here.
Cool. I'll get you up on the center there.
But
do you want to do the click in or?
My notes are going to be covering the click in. So
okay, so yeah, just let me know, or I can cue it whenever you say the title.
That works. Another good thing about this list was I got to go back and watch a lot of movies that I haven't really gotten to see in a while. And man, I don't know if it was just the time that these movies came out or when I saw them or what it was, but I love most of these movies. I mean, I love most of these movies, and they're not hugely popular. I'll say that. But I think they're popular enough or have gained a cult following since that gives them enough to be included in this list. My first one that I'm going to talk about is bold because it's from the Stephen King universe, and it's hard to add on to the Stephen King universe in any of his books. But it's The Dark Half.
I agree with that statement. It is difficult. Oh yeah, I got to change the background there.
Yeah, get that background out of there. Good call. I love this movie. I know the graphics at the time sucked, especially the birds, the sparrows. But I love the book. Being a writer and reading this as a younger person, I really got into the book, and I like that notion of duality that he deals with in this. And the fact that it was kind of based on, not really a true story, but, it was based on his idea of letting go of the Richard Bachman pseudonym that he used for a while. So, in the dark half, the legacy sequel that I have in mind for, William Beaumont is a writer who, after a whirlwind success with his first novel, has come upon hard times and personal struggles with gambling, which he is recovering from. Now, William Beaumont would be one of the babies from the original, one of the sons, or one of the children of Thad and Liz Beaumont. In a trial of desperation, his agent recommends he write a new Alexis Machine novel in honor of his father, who recently retired from writing. William reluctantly agrees, but on one condition. He partners with his twin sister, Wendy, who has gained notoriety as a horror filmmaker. And as they begin to work on the new book, dark forces begin to take them over, and the people around them begin to die in horrible ways. Murdered by a mysterious figure which seems intent on framing one or both of the Beaumont siblings for the crimes. Their efforts to exhume the memory of Alexis Machine have also given rise to George Stark, Thad Beaumont's writing alter ego from the earlier movie, who's been dead and buried for more than 30 years now. Stark's murderous rampage finally hits home when he takes the life of Liz Beaumont, the mother to Wendy and William and wife of Thad. And then Thad, based on the death of his wife, realizes what the twins are up to and has to step in to stop them no matter what the cost. So, that's kind of the bare framework that I've got for that one. But you've read The Dark Half, hadn't you?
A long time ago, yes.
And the one I thought that was one that you said you had read. So
I like it. That's just, man, you are right about it being tough to build sequels off of Stephen King, and this one especially. I wouldn't know what to do, but that's not a bad idea.
Like I said, these were, that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to necessarily call this a top 5. Because, in 3 months, I might have like 3 more that would bump this one out of the list. Yeah.
I feel that.
Any questions about that premise, or and you guys out there also?
I don't.
And feel free to put in some of your ideas, if you can summarize it where we can actually read the full comment, though. Because I don't know how many characters.
From somebody here already.
I thought I saw something pop in, but it disappeared pretty quick because I think Jeff showed up and started demanding a goddamn sandwich.
Yeah, right.
Or something. I don't know what's going on.
He was made to. He was slaving over a hot stove, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But Patricia says The Dark Half is so good, she wants to reread that novel. Yeah.
I need to as well once I get, to a point where I have time to read, I guess.
Yeah, other than Jeff, I do not see anything new. Nobody's commenting on The Dark Half.
No? All right. Did you say we had a list?
We do. We have one from Lorena.
Oh, all right. Yeah, so done.
She says in no particular order, Spider Baby, which she just got a tattoo for. One Dark Night, Let's Scare Jessica to Death, Beast of the Yellow Night. What is that? Wicker Man, a decent one, not that Wicker Tree or Bees shit. Oh, I know what you're talking about. She hates the fucking bee shit with the Wicker Man scene, whatever the hell it was.
Oh, man.
That was pretty terrible, too. That was weird. Beast of the Yellow Night. Do you know what that is?
I do not know what that one is.
I'm probably going to get yelled at for not knowing what that is.
Well, I should probably get yelled at too for the same thing. Huh.
Do you want me to show that comment?
You can if you want to already, but
Cool.
Yeah.
I just figured we could hang on to it, but Doc says Nightbreed. The Nightbreed has been living for so long, tucked away from society. See how technology has changed and how they interact or hide from the world. That's a fun.
yeah.
I'd be behind that.
You guys are going to. Yeah, you guys are really going to piss Ziggy off if he comes back.
No shit. It's Joseph Scott comes in here. May want to save these if he comes back. The main one that I came up with was a prequel to The Fog. It would be the story of how Captain Blake was fooled by the people of Antonio Bay and was killed, and how the curse of them coming back all started. I just think it would be really interesting if this was done right.
A prequel, huh? Okay, yeah.
A prequel, though. Yeah, that is very
That works too. That works too. Oh, man.
Lorena, whoops. Have you guys ever seen Storm of the Century?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Trying to remember. This sounds so damn familiar.
It's another Stephen King. It was one of those Stephen King miniseries
Yeah,
back in the
that's why I know the title.
90s or the aughts, early aughts, one of the two.
I
remember that one because that was one of the first like film scripts they ever published in book form that I remember and that I purchased. So I still have it in there.
Nice. Then she just confirms Beast of the Yellow Knight is a crappy Eddie Romero movie, but she loves it, so it fits the bill.
Fair enough. All right. You want to do one of yours then?
Sure. So my next one, let's see what happens if I do this. All right, that works.
Yeah.
Zigzag just becomes me. So I threw this into my list. What are you laughing at there?
I was just saying the empty space right there. That's where Ziggy would be.
Yeah. Sorry, Ziggy. This first one I threw in just like as a crap spot. If I couldn't come up with anything else, man, I struggled with this one. I have
This one was tough, man. I'll admit.
It's a challenge, like we call it. Like Ziggy called it a challenge, but it's a fun one.
And I've been working on it for 3 months. So
that's true. I was thinking about it too, just throughout the weeks and struggling with it. And it's just like, man. And the problem is I usually have my DVDs to look at to help me sort of get inspiration for these, but they're all fucking packed away right now.
Right.
So
you are overly prepared since you don't even move until the end of this month.
Right. I mean, it's going into storage soon, but that said, I had to just go off of pure memory off of these. But my first idea, it's a goofy one, but it's a fun one. It's going to be for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And yeah, sorry about the white blending in there. It had to be what it had to be. I do love this original movie, and it would be cool to see just a modernization of this, but the idea that I would have for this is not very original because I really like the idea that Gun Media has for their game and the little backstory they have for that, and I would try to talk to them about maybe trying to create a synopsis for an actual film based off of the backgrounds that they have made in their game.
Okay.
Which, if any of you guys don't know, it's for the survivors. It's basically the family, the Sawyer family, has captured this girl, and her twin sister gathered a bunch of her friends, and they're going in to try and save her. But yeah. It's a pretty fucked up scenario because they got to escape, Leatherface and the whole family. And I don't know. I just feel like there could be a potential film there. And
now, but wouldn't the game, this would be a prequel then, right? Because the game takes place before the actual movie, doesn't it?
It does. I mean,
yeah, that's not bad.
You could make it you could just take the same story and make it a sequel. It doesn't really matter when, but you could make it a prequel and still just make it work that way, and maybe give some origin story to somebody, just make it work, Yeah. And I love the grandpa's scream in the game too. I feel like that could create a very creepy atmosphere, especially if you're in a theater. I don't know. I feel like that could be good. make for a good, fun, creepy, slashy, bloody film, and also a good period 70s film, maybe.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, I wonder if
Good 70s music, maybe.
like Ty West would be interested in doing something like that.
Maybe.
Oh,
Ooh, we got somebody back in here.
we got the puke and reboot.
You doing all right there, buddy?
Oh, you can hear me. I don't know if I was
yeah.
on that page still. Yeah. Yeah, I'm all right for
Okay.
You good?
I'm toughing it out, you know. So,
Fair enough, brother. Just if you need to back out again, it's no big deal.
if I gotta go, I'm not gonna say goodbye and make it all fucking sentimental. I'm fucking gone. If I go again, that's it. Okay.
It's all
Just do
good.
peace.
Yeah.
Well, Craig's 5 was The Dark Half by Stephen King. And then my number 5 was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So do you want to go next and do your number 5?
Yes. I want to start.
So now that you're back.
Hold on. Before we get him listed, let me hit one of these.
Oh yeah. We've got a lot of comments to hit here for sure.
Yeah.
What do we mean by legacy sequels?
Oh boy.
Legacy sequels? We were thinking something that's been released at least 10 years, either has or has not had a sequel since. You can eliminate storylines. Like if you wanted to do, I did not put this on my list, I don't think, but if you wanted to do a Halloween based on Jamie Lloyd, Danielle Harris from episode 4, and do a legacy sequel to that, you could.
That never fucking even occurred to me. That's great.
No, yeah. Well, I left it off the list because I've been writing that for a couple of years. So, but, I'm not mentioning Friday the 13th because I've had a legacy sequel script for that for almost 20 years now. So before I even met these assholes.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
So yeah, and it should involve at least some connection to the characters, or if you can get some of the actors back.
We even said if the actor was dead, like for example, Angus Scrimm. If you were wanting to do Phantasm 6, you could have Angus Scrimm back to do that
As AI,
whatever, just it's available. We left it kind of loose that way,
Yeah.
Which I mean, I didn't do that though. Not one of mine. I did that.
Okay. I've got one on my list that it doesn't necessarily need AI yet to bring this actor back, but it could.
Yeah.
It's potential. So, all right.
Did you give a synopsis of your movies you did?
I did, yeah. Just a little blurb.
Yeah, I kind of paragraphs on each one too. The one of them I was 4 pages in when I was like, "What the fuck am I doing, man?" I go, "This is cool." It honestly kind of made me spark that writing thing again. I mean, if nothing else, because I was going like, "Man, he's kind of want to see where this is going to go." When I was writing some of this stuff, and so.
I hope you weren't watching while you were gone, though.
I was not. No.
Okay, good.
I was busy looking at other things. Why'd you already give all my movies away?
No.
Oh.
The comments have not been kind to your list.
No.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm gonna give you exactly what you expect from me for this kind of list. I think all my movies come from 80. Nightbreed might be in the 90s, is it? Or is that 80s? No, that's 80s.
I think it's 90.
It is 1990. So I got 4 80s and 1 90. So there you go. So yes, you're correct. So shut the fuck up and listen now. Tell me you didn't want to go see some of these movies. My first one, I just went and this one just got like a DVD. Finally got the proper release that we deserved for years and years and years. But Trick or Treat is my movie that I wanted to do a sequel for. I always thought Sammy Kerr could be revisited. All those characters could be. So My movie is called No False Metal. And it starts, I'll just do it like this. 1986, we see Nuke in his DJ booth completing the recording of the final Sammy Kerr album for his Halloween night broadcast. He departs for the night to find his company and spirits, and a shady intern, after watching Nuke from the shadows, hustles into the studio, dubs a copy for himself, and, more of an opportunist than a fan, he tosses it into a milk crate filled with other bootlegs, so he's very common on doing this. The next morning, of course, he's discovered deceased, and something terrifying happened. The house is there. All this shit happened. The family moves away. All the tapes are collected, packed in a box, stored in an attic. 25 years later, we join an estate sale in progress. A bid on these vintage tapes, and someone familiar with the events from 1986, Roger. Remember Roger, Eddie Weinbauer's good friend.
Okay.
Finds this tape and knows and is aware of these things. That nobody wants to acknowledge this shit ever happened. They want to just move on, much like you've seen in the Fridays and all that. So he gets the tape and, of course, reaches out to Eddie Weinbauer, who he's married to Leslie, has a great life. He's doing his thing. After much debate, they decide the only way to ensure Sammy is gone is to play the tape. Eddie's wife, Leslie, now a teacher at the local high school. She can never know. They don't want her reintroduced to this. So they set up like a nice trap room, all defense blocked in, so none of this can, go wrong. Play the tape. They hit play, and instead of Sammy Kerr's metal, here comes like Britney Spears. Oops, I did it again. Something like that. We realize Leslie has the tape and is on her way to the Halloween dance at the high school. Now it's a race for Roger and Eddie to intercept the tape before Leslie gets to the high school and plays it and revives Sammy Kerr to start another rampage and finish his revenge. And finally, can he get Eddie Weinbauer? Will this be the end, or will Eddie and Roger be the only hope for the town? That one. That's what I had for No False Metal, Trick or Treat 2.
All right. All right. By the way, that's the wrong poster, and I think
Hang on, I'm looking at my notes.
Is it now? Is there?
Oh no!
What did I do there?
Oh.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, that is different. God damn it. Shit.
I noticed it right before
man.
Smiley put something in there.
I did do these in pretty kind of in a hurry. It's actually a mild typo in one of yours, Ziggy, that I think it's a number 2, but it's fine.
It's okay. I mean, his name is Sam, I guess. So yes, but I wanted more Eddie Weinbauer, more Sammy Kerr, and I think this would have been an interesting vehicle to get there, and it's number 5 because it's limited. There's not many ways you can go with it, so that's why it's here.
I mean, we're obviously thinking more of this one instead of that poster.
Rock and roll!
What?
People know.
Yes. Trick or treat, not trick or treat.
Right.
Oh, right.
We haven't done that in a while.
We're gonna say she was hoping for that one. Sammy lives.
Yes, I don't know if we can recover from that phase. I'll be honest.
Oh, it's fine. We'll get over it. Bethany says a sequel for that would be awesome. Not, that the one that you're talking about.
Right.
And again, I wrote a little more than what we're revealing here, so I was paraphrasing my own fucking paragraphs here. So
sure.
All right.
Not bad. I like that one.
Yeah.
I can get behind that one.
Very nice.
Like I said, I had to turn down certain ones, man. It just did not translate well into any kind of sequel like that,
Got a few comments here. Got a list.
Ooh.
Oh, Joshua. He says number 5, Puppet Master. 4, Evil Dead. 3, John Carpenter's The Thing. I didn't want to touch that one. 2 Nightbreed, and 1 Knight of the Comet.
I disagree. You could totally run with the thing.
He could have just, man. I just feel like it's so perfect as it
It's
is. It's
just-
just you could do it. You could do it better.
I mean, all those bodies are going to be preserved in ice down there,
Yeah.
at least the last 2, unless they chew each other up at some point. But
I don't know.
there's going to be at least one body that's pretty well reserved in the ice and snow down there that could be found and dug up. So,
If it's done well, then prove me wrong. But
yeah.
Till then,
I mean, that prequel they did in 2000, when was that? 11?
Yeah.
Yeah. That prequel honestly wasn't that bad. It was just the CGI that took me out of it.
And
The story, though, wasn't bad.
Yeah. Again, when you see what they were playing with in the practical department,
right.
Mhm.
idiots.
Yeah. What else you got in the comments up there?
One of the starred ones here. We got some. I mean,
Oh.
Bethany was just talking about Night in the Comic. I could get behind Night in the Comic. That would be cool.
Yeah.
And Doctor says, I think They Live could be a good one for today with shit like Amazon, phrases like obey, buy, stuff like that. It'd be fun.
Ooh, a modern day like a new Temu.
Oh,
She-
God.
One of those kind of sites that comes out like that.
It's just funny how well that 1980s version, 88 version of that story fits today. I mean, still, it's more poignant today than it is then. It fits better now. I mean, aside from the aliens part, of course, but then again, who knows?
Kind of a fun group of comments here. Got the Blob meets the Thing, then the Blob meets the Stuff, and then the Blob versus the Thing versus the Stuff versus Muffin.
No, you had me until versus Muffin.
Versus, but no, the Blob versus the Thing versus the Stuff. That would be ridiculous. I mean, we would already be combining maybe Blob and the Stuff, maybe, but let's leave the Thing out of it.
The Thing would be hard to involve in the Blob and the Stuff unless they
It would, like,
took samples from Antarctica or whatever, or the Arctic, and brought it up.
sure.
And let's face it, Muffin's dead, man. So
Yeah, Muffin's already a blob.
Oh
Yeah.
boy, there she comes.
yeah.
There's a comment from Rick earlier about, yep.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to show. This dude that comes on my show is always talking about making a Grandpa Sawyer prequel, which would be awesome. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I'd be into it.
Yeah. I can't remember. Steve Merlo, that was his name. He did that, the Sawyer Massacre,
Sawyer Massacre
which I think was a prequel,
ish.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
So,
I don't remember, man, but you might be right. I only watched like the first 2, I think.
I just realized FaZe is batting 1,000 tonight with the sports stuff and the trick or treat. There, it's still up there too. It's great.
Yeah, like, can we, like, I'm trying to move on, but we got like a huge list here. We got Lorena saying, fuck off, Muffin lives, and fuck Facebook comments. Muffin lives. Screw you all. Muffin's alive.
I can
Yeah,
do,
we got to,
I can do another one.
yeah.
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah, I'll save that list for later so we can get this embarrassment out of here.
All right, my next one, I guess this would be number 4 on this
Yep.
list. Again, I love this movie, and it would be hard to bring one of the actors back, but I think with the power of AI, we could do something. We'll get into that. How about The Frighteners?
Can we not use AI for stuff?
Get used to it, dude. It's going to happen.
I know.
So
Just make
Either-
it look like it's not
they
like
used AI on Egon in Ghostbusters, and I'm going to mention that in this. So
Okay.
I mean, okay, honestly, Michael J. Fox isn't dead. He's just not able to act very much right now.
a little shaky on the acting.
A little shaky on the acting. That's
Yeah.
terrible.
I'm sorry.
It's awful.
That's the headache talking. It's not me.
That's
I would never
awful.
say that. That was the. I don't even know where that came from, man. That's straight from hell. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, that was it's going. Oh my God, what are you doing? What are you saying?
Damn it, man. All right. So, in a legacy sequel to The Frighteners, Frank Bannister Jr., the son of Michael J. Fox's character in the original, is a con man, much like his estranged father. Among one of his many cons is pretending to communicate with the dead, but after an accident that kills his accomplice, he is gifted with the ability to actually see and communicate with the dead, including his former accomplice.
Is that the only trait that he passed along to his son?
Well, no, he's just getting it the same way that he got it in the original.
Parkinson's? Oh, no.
No, he got it in a car accident.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Another bad joke. Yeah.
Asshole. No, don't pass any traits down to his son.
I'm saying I teed that one up there for you.
I tell you, it's not going to happen. The ghosts and the encounters assist him along the way in building his criminal version of his previous enterprise into a true way to talk to the dead and help the living with grief and closure, but it's not easy for him to give up his old ways. Along the way, his mother, Lucy, who still has, I'd forgotten this until I watched this movie lately, who still has special sight after the end of the original film, shows up to give him some advice on how to deal with his newfound power and guide him into a more benevolent purpose. And in a finale that brings the dead and living back together, almost in a special effects showcase kind of Ghostbusters Afterlife, Frank Sr. arrives to assist. And depending on the health of Michael J. Fox, like I was saying, AI could be used to bring him into the film, but he could still voice the role, I think. So I think that would be a fun one to do. And they're never going to do a Back to the Future sequel, so get over it.
You know,
Okay.
Well, I mean,
everybody demands this, you know, like they think it's and like they can just go get, you know, Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd back in, and like they're gonna just pick it up like it's 1987 again. You know what I mean, dude? You know what I mean?
It don't work like that sometimes. I get it.
You would have to completely CGI this, any kind of Back to the Future idea to make it tangible, I think, and fit. So I don't leave that shit alone. You know.
Well, Robert Zemeckis has already said it's never going to happen.
That's all I need to hear. Then good.
Those rights are his, and it's not going to happen. So
Frighteners. I mean, this is Peter Jackson. You know.
Well, Zemeckis too. So.
And Zemeckis, we love you know, Jackson's Dead Alive. We love The Lord of the Rings. We love, you know, I don't know, King Kong was okay, I guess, a little long, but yeah, dude, this would, I think you could get away with some pretty cool gags in this, like afterlife gags in this movie. That would be cool, you know. So
Tyrone says, yeah, Michael J. Fox could probably shake off the dust and jump right back in.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see. Frighteners is getting some love in the comments, though.
It's a good movie. So you'd have a different antagonist this time. Like it wouldn't be the
right
Busey.
It wouldn't be Jake Busey and D. Stone
as the Grim Reaper. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what.
Right. No. It would be something different that would come back. But.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that's worthy. That's a good one.
Yeah. Let's see here. There were a couple of comments. Luke says, great movie, Crank. Doc says, I'd be about the Frighteners. Alex says, yes. The Frighteners. Tyrone makes that comment, but then says, too soon, Ziggy.
Yeah, right.
I guess he said too soon first, and then.
Then it must have hit him. Something funny hits him, and then all of a sudden it's all is well. I see how you run, Tyrone. It's all right.
Well, we broke the glass ceiling, and then he just decided to like crawl right up.
Well, you can have the flat next to me in hell. It's fine. It's all good. You know.
Yeah.
If we're not all together in hell, I'm going to be disappointed.
Oh, no shit, right? I heard the drinks are excellent. Doc says you guys are horrible. Patricia, I love the Frighteners. I'm going to save that one for later. Gonna save that one for later. Info mark. That's a good idea. Joseph says, great idea about the Frighteners. Bring John Aston back. Yeah. I think you could bring a couple of those old ghosts back for a short cameo or whatever. I don't know if they need to be the real plot, but it'd be kind of funny to see a couple of them. Yeah. All right. I think that's all the comments I got on there.
And Patricia's got a list. I don't know if you want to.
Sure.
I was just going through. Yeah. Go ahead.
Number 5, Bubba Hotep.
That was on my.
Never got. Oh yeah.
That was on my list of my working list.
Right.
I want Bubba Nosferatu.
Yep.
Nosferatu.
But yes.
God damn it. Battle Royale
I don't
prequel
even
to
get
see
a
this.
callback credit even when I'm fucking half fevered out with sickness.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Battle Royale, a prequel to see the story about the first winter and how everything started. Oh, okay.
Huh?
That would be cool. Number 3, The People Under Stairs prequel
Oh.
to see how the brother and sister couple obtained a daughter and the people under the stairs. Okay.
I like that, Patricia.
I
That's
do
not
like
bad.
that.
Yeah.
Night of the Creeps. Maybe set up an amusement park? Okay. And Serial Mom. The mob runs for president and takes out the competition. I could dig that actually.
That could fit in these times too.
Yeah, that could be funny.
Would
Oh,
she shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue
Oh my god. Maybe.
and not lose any votes? I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
See.
Just curious.
It looks like the government got wind of this broadcast.
Yep, now we're streaming on Netflix. Oops. Well, shall I?
Yep.
Yeah.
Your turn.
All right. So my next one I came up with yesterday. But it's actually not, it's one that I would actually really love to see. Now, I don't have a very specific idea for this, but this could work for either a prequel or a sequel. It's for American Psycho. I'm just thinking, something that just delves a little bit deeper into the psyche of Patrick Bateman. A prequel could go into his childhood and why he's such a psychotic fuck. They kind of delve into that in the book and the movie. His childhood a little bit and how but a whole movie could delve pretty deeply into that, and a sequel could go into more insanity. Like just it could delve deeper into what the hell is going on in his head. Whatever it is that it may be. There's quite a lot of theories going on for this guy. I would love to see more of this. Just Patrick. I've always loved American Psycho, even for its grittier parts. But
Well, they are doing a remake soon.
I was gonna say, what do you
Are
think of
they?
the casting of the remake?
God,
Yeah.
damn, that's right. They are. I didn't even
With-
think about that. But
Is it Austin Butler? Is that who it is?
a remake, though. I'm gonna have to look that up then. Let's see.
I think it's the guy that played Elvis. Austin Butler.
Remake. Yeah, it's that guy,
looks like him.
I'll give it a
Yep,
shot.
Austin Butler.
Austin Button.
Oh, we'll see. I mean, it's just a remake.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool. I'm down for that. I mean, I love the movie.
How could you tie it to the original though? Would there be any? Who survived an American Psycho that could come back?
I mean,
You'd have to do like a copycat or something. Someone a huge fan of that, and
Well, I was thinking maybe it's like one of those true crime podcasts that's going over the history of the show, and somebody listening becomes obsessed and starts recreating the crimes after they're talked about on the podcast or something like that. Just
that could be fascinating.
yeah.
Like I said, this is something I came up with yesterday, so the amount of thought is not max. I love this, and I would like to see more of Patrick Bateman's story, I guess. Whether it be before, after, I don't really care.
I think I myself would lean to prequel on this because you're
I do lean prequel.
guaranteed to see him become what he is.
That's true. Yeah, a prequel would be better.
But
Yeah.
this is your list, not mine.
Oh shit! There's 17 new comments.
I could see something with that. Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Where does this start? Let's see. Totally Bubba Hotep for Patricia. I love it.
Mhm.
James says he'd be with people under the stairs.
Yeah.
Joseph loves the serial mom idea is very popular.
Yep.
American Psycho getting that love. Well, it says fuck that remake. She says I'll watch it because I have to, but I don't expect much. That's okay.
Oh.
Oh, wait.
Oh. Huey Lewis commenting on the remake.
Luke says John Doe wrote over 10,000 notebooks with his life experiences and any crimes he committed. Seven only showed a snippet of what it was about. I could see a legacy sequel for Seven working.
That's not bad.
If it was done by David Fincher again, yeah.
Yeah, that would have to be a prequel too, though. I would assume.
Oh yeah,
And you definitely have to recast Kevin Spacey.
and I agree with Doc.
He is not welcome in movies right now at all.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, depending who you are working with, right?
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Mm. Wow.
Go ahead with the next comment, whatever it was.
Oh yeah, the doctor said I don't think anyone could do a better job than Christian Bale.
Oh no.
That's not what
It's
we're
not-
expecting either.
They're gonna try to write some shit to top it, and that's not gonna. It's not gonna happen. They ain't gonna have
It's
the
not
same.
gonna top it.
Ain't gonna
Right.
have the same charge, man.
I
I would suspect.
Not to get off topic for too long, but I watched a movie from David Fincher and Andrew Kevin Walker, the team that did American Psycho or did Seven, excuse me, and it was called The Killer. It's on Netflix. It came out like last year or the year before. Not too bad. Kind of an interesting movie if you haven't seen it. Not necessarily horror, but it's about a hitman who fucks up a job and then is almost taken out himself, but then goes back and cleans up everybody that was trying to come after him. So it's bizarre, but I kind of dug it.
I promise. My next three have a lot more thought put into them. One of them has a working script.
Ah,
But Ziggy is next. Is that correct?
Right.
All right. Hopefully, I got the poster right this time, eh?
Still here. Well, if you fuck this one up, then I don't know. Pretty obvious where I went here, but this one, this is one of the. Wait, where is she? Evil Dead is my. There you go. And I honestly, this could. I went prequel with this, so you could actually take it from this one, which I did, or you could take some information from part 2 and make that prequel too. Because my premise for Evil Dead 0 is this. Raymond Noby is a man obsessed with the occult. He has traveled the world in search of artifacts forged in darker realms. His wife Henrietta and daughter Annie are usually unwilling passengers on these frequent journeys. His search this time is for a book. The expedition team sets out to explore the ruins of Castle Kandar. They search of the castle finds the Necronomicon Ex Mortis along with the Kandarian dagger, both of which have been hidden away in the castle since 1300 AD. A grim warning forebodes the removal of the artifacts, and the book's passages are never to be read aloud. As the team tries to leave, they find the narrow, treacherous path that led them to the castle is now blocked, overgrown with ancient trees. They return to the castle, awaiting the dawn to depart. As they slept, of course, one of the local guides that got them to the castle decides these treasures are coming with me, and through his negligence reactivates the Necronomicon. Demonic voices boom through the skies. Lightning destroys the entire castle, collapses everything, killing all but Raymond, Henrietta, and a wounded Annie. They return home, but the evil follows. The only choice is to try to translate the book's secrets and restore the spirits to rest. Annie is left with relatives as Raymond and Henrietta head to a secluded cabin in the woods. Once there, Raymond begins translating into an old reel-to-reel tape recorder and slowly realizes what he is up against is far more horrifying than he could ever imagine, and the very plan he thought would save them may have doomed them all. That's where I am with my Evil Dead.
Right. I like that one.
Yes. That was another one I had to erase about 2 extra pages of stuff that I had, like details. I had like the guy that finds the Necronomicon. He picks up the dagger, of course, cuts himself. The blood gets on the Necronomicon, and then it like sucks every drop and all flesh off his body. It was gonna go wild, dude. I'm not gonna hold back in my Evil Dead. You're gonna get the fucking blood that you had in that first one. So that's where I went with that. And goddamn, I would love to see this. Yes, join us.
Yeah, getting a lot of
else. Robert Noby.
Yeah,
people are loving the title too. That it's pretty cool that you gave them all titles.
I was just going.
Yeah, you kind of broke the rules on that one.
Well, I saw you guys had him in there, and I went, "Oh, okay." Let me just put what it is after, and
I don't know. It was a rule against
sequel.
Regardless,
whatever. It's not. It's just
it's
extra.
not a big deal.
It's sprinkles
they're
on
cool.
the cupcake, man. That's all.
I like them.
But yeah, I would definitely find my way to that story.
Yeah, everyone's saying yes, do it. Prequel, prequel it up, baby.
Talk to Sam.
You never know.
Well, not
This
many
isn't-
actually.
Yeah, hold on. This isn't on anybody's list, so we're going to throw this up. Jeff
Oh, yeah.
Doc Smiley says, "Killer clowns, a whole race of clowns. Why can't we have this movie?"
Yeah,
They're working on it.
Yeah, it's going to come in the form of a movie or a TV series.
Yeah, they said this was, but again, this was several years ago. They said they were working on it. So
2 full years now have gone by.
could be a big project. Who knows? It's a
it
big
could
IP.
be-
People love it.
Well,
yeah,
this
could just be a lost one.
Necroscope. This is all that shit was announced at the same fucking time. We've got 0 on both IPs.
Mhm.
That's true.
These announcements and a fucking 45-minute panel with the guys that invented this whole thing. So,
But in that same time frame, we've heard of, an "I Know What You Did Last Summer" legacy sequel that was announced, filmed, and is getting released in like a month, something. So, that's why I'm worried that those other 2 have just been kind of forgotten or kicked aside.
it sounds like they weren't offered like the home. No one bought it and said, "Hey, come to Netflix, come to Cinemax, and do it. Here you go." Like Ash vs. Evil Dead got, and like, stars and everything.
Right.
I still think we have not seen the last of the Killer Clowns. I'll leave it at that.
I don't think so either. But
Luke says he can't wait for the porn parody.
of course he can. I don't know if this will show Bobby. No, I didn't think so.
Those
Bobby
are usually like
Staley-
a graphic.
Yeah, Bobby Staley sent us 50 stars on Facebook.
Oh,
Thanks, man.
thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
It's funny. We're still trying to figure out how the
Yeah.
hell those work,
Yeah.
but
We
I guess
appreciate
you
it.
can buy things for it or you give them off yourself. But we have a few. But yes,
Yeah.
when we figure out what to do with them, we will do something very nice. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Probably something that benefits you guys. You know what I mean?
We'll have to.
All right. What do we got next? Me?
Yes.
Crank, yep. Oh, whoops.
All right.
I don't know why I clicked that. There we go.
All right.
Back to your 4.
This is the actual movie that kind of inspired this whole topic. And it's Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. I don't know why. I really enjoyed this fucking movie when I watched it a few months back. So, my idea for the sequel is upon the sudden death of Augie Foster, one of the 3 original kids, well, the
Spoiler
geeky,
alert.
who turned out to be a successful tech giant in his adult life, Ben Gowdy, Carter Grant, and Denise Russo are brought together again after 10 years to an attorney's office. Augie in his will, has left the old campgrounds to his former friends with the condition that they work on it together, and in return will be paid $1 million each per year to do so. Flash forward a few months, and the campgrounds are now ready for reopening with a special weekend event, a From Dusk Till Dawn style outdoor movie experience focusing on classic vampire films. Little do they know that a group of a few members of the staff that they have hired turn out to be vampires, intent on turning all the members of the camp event into vampires of their own and starting a war on humans. So, and madness ensues.
Madness and mayhem.
I mean, you know from the list that we did a few weeks ago that I've never seen this, and I did not rush to go see it either after you're giving it some love. I'm not I really have to be in the mood for this kind of movie.
Right.
No, I love
A couple of mine are, horror comedies, I guess. So, not just straight horror. So,
Got Doc saying, I love this. I was a scout and I could totally see all this shit happening. Third X gives it a yeah.
Patricia, go ahead.
Ah!
No.
Holy shit. Yep, they bring in the European cut, man, for the oh my god.
Not
Patricia,
even. No,
you just won the night, I think.
I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
man.
not even going to say the name of that movie.
I'm upset I didn't think of that.
Luke says he's got to check that movie out. But I love this comment. I was a Girl Scout. Fuck them cookies. Dang, man. Yeah, James loves the idea too.
All right, cool. All right, Phase. We got to get moving. We got like 40 minutes left.
Oh, 50? But yeah, that's
Well, we
true.
got three left each, or you got 2 left. He's got 3. I got
Right.
this. Okay, 8 more movies. We can do this.
We got this. So this next one is a poll for my childhood. I would be surprised if any of you two have seen this. I would be very surprised if anybody in the comments have seen it. Because it is from 2006. Yes. It's a 2006 G-rated horror film. And I was looking up G-rated horror films because there's another one on my list that's G-rated. So I was thinking, is there another one I could do here? So this one is called Monster House.
Oh, okay.
All
I
right.
don't know if any of you guys have seen this.
Yeah, of course.
You have?
Yeah.
Is
This
this
awesome, man.
Is this animated?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I saw
CGI
it
animated.
man.
You saw? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's a good one, man. It's like the first act is a little bit slow, but it surprises you with just how good it is. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember loving this movie. When I saw this on the list, I was like, oh yeah, Monster House. Fuck yeah. And I could totally imagine a sequel. I would like a rated R sequel where the kids are all grown up, and I would imagine, after their experiences of dealing with this possessed house that it's a possessed house.
Because they kind of tell you the whole story of how the house became the monster house and everything. So
there's a whole story behind it. So
you need a prequel.
it could be a prequel, about the house, or there could be a sequel that follows the kids. And I was thinking they become like haunted house explorers, but then they end up encountering another
maybe something a
spirit
little more sinister, even, huh?
right, or something even deeper. Yeah, something more rated R since they're
right.
adults now. So
Yeah.
I feel like that could be cool, and also animated. Just there were a lot of good hands working on this thing at the time, and I don't know. It'd be cool to see this IP return.
I
I
like
don't
that.
know.
That's not bad, man.
I don't think I've seen the movie, but I know of it.
Okay,
No, it's pretty strong, man. Yeah,
I
Faze,
like
that's
this one a lot.
it's a good pull, man.
Let's see here. Bethany says she's seen it. Patricia says it's great. I would also like to see one for Paranorman. Oh, that's another good one.
Oh,
Really
okay.
good one.
Fuck yeah, I guess there are a bunch of Hotel Transylvania. There's a bunch of G-rated horror.
I was
Fuck.
thinking about Coraline, but I don't know where I would go with that. But I love that movie.
Nightmare Before Christmas, I guess. Would that count?
It's in that area, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do with that either, but
Could probably do Beetlejuice, but they're
Yeah.
they're doing those now. But
they are.
a prequel for Beetlejuice would be cool.
I like this one. Christine,
Mhm.
oldie but a goodie. Christine was found dusty and in disrepair, found at an auction by a collector. He brings it to his garage, and in the night, Christine eats one of the mechanics. Owner comes back, and she is pristine, and chaos ensues. Fuck, I love that.
Yeah.
I'd be into it.
That's another one that's getting a remake, though, pretty soon, isn't it? A
Yeah.
Blumhouse remake, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. There's fire in the fucking teaser poster, for fuck's sake. So yeah. So pretty much know where that one's going.
Right. Doesn't Kathleen Turner play
If
the
Arnie Cunningham was actually represented in movie form, that's what the Blumhouse Christine will be.
Oh, yeah. God damn it. Joseph Scott, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember if Kathleen Turner was that.
There were some big names in that one, though.
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
Voice of the Monster House is Kathleen. I think that's right.
Yeah,
that
that
sounds right. Yeah. Lucanus said it's now a possessed smart car. Damn it. Oh, man. I'm surprised that hasn't been a movie yet, honestly. A possessed smart, self-driving car. It's going to happen.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's one about a fucking tire,
That's true.
it'll happen.
Yeah, it's Steve Buscemi and Kathleen Turner are the. Boy, it's had a lot of fucking people in it. Monster House. Kevin James.
Yep, Kevin James.
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Dan Harmon was one of the writers.
Gyllenhaal.
One of the community writers.
Mm-hmm.
Bethany says her whole family would geek over a Coraline sequel. Yeah, that would be awesome. I'd be into it.
That movie's disturbing, man.
It is. That's why I love it.
Those button eyes.
It messed my sister up, but I was into it. I love that shit. How about
Something about
Maximum Overdrive?
Emilio Estevez at the reunion it wasn't that reunion, but it was an interview he was doing about the reunion for the Breakfast Club, said he's written the sequel and pitched it to Carol Co. or whoever the rights holders are, but they turned him down.
Nobody wants it.
I saw that. I saw that video not too long ago. He didn't get into the idea, but he said it's a cool idea and it brings back some people, but I'd be down for that.
He'd be down to direct it too, I'm sure. So
yeah,
into it.
Well, as long as you don't let Stephen King direct it, I think we'd be in good shape.
I don't hate his directing in the original. I mean, it's just
he's not coked out of his mind anymore, so
right.
Yeah, I mean, oh fuck, who knows, man? Who the fuck knows?
All right, Ziggy's turn.
It's my turn.
This comment real quick. Dead Alive would be another fun sequel.
Oh yeah,
I do agree.
Pretty much wipe everything out. Yeah, you know what? You could find another way to do it. You could bring Dead Alive back to the forefront. Peter Jackson's smart enough to do that.
And that's true, Joseph, about the Coraline thing. We're number 2 now, right?
What?
Years?
I am on.
He will be 3.
Oh, he would be 3. So I'm going to put you on 4.
Yeah.
Okay. That's right.
Speaking of Caroline and button eyes, like doll button eyes, something always terrifying about those lifeless button eyes, and brought me inspiration for my next choice. Back in 1990, Clive Barker put out a movie called Nightbreed, and it's cool, man. It's a freaky. It's a fantasy, you know what I mean? It's a world where shit happens, like demons exist. But the real cool thing is the demons in real life. And this particular one is Philip Decker, the doctor. He's a serial killer who has the perfect alibis. He blames his own patients. He sets them up, does the killings himself, and blames it on them and gets away scot-free every time. My idea was to join Philip as a boy that we know has schizophrenia, causes him to hear the voices commanding him to do the evil things he does, the harmful things he does. Instead of compassion from the broken family around him, all he gets is ridicule and admonishment. His only solace and escape is the deep conversations he has with his faceless, button-eyed rabbit named Thomas. At school, he's relentlessly bullied, but once the bullies destroy Thomas, Philip, who can still hear the voice, telling him word for word, detail by detail, how to get even and get the final one up on not only the bullies, but his cold parents as well. The plans are laid out so painstakingly elaborate that Philip, all he has to do is follow exactly what Thomas says, and everything's going to work out. So Philip becomes like, I just got to follow the plans. That's secondary now. I'll do that. I know everything's going to work out. So he does this, and he hones these skills, how to manipulate, how to kill, how to set people up, and he gets these perversions from it. Like they grow as he ages. After the mysterious death of his parents, he enters foster care where he establishes himself as a model orphan, but then it's still under the guidance of the voice of Thomas in his head. So he gets adopted by a wealthy family, but it's that kind of family that they throw the money at the problem. They're not really there with love, with the support like that. So they're hands off. They're not around, allowing him to become more isolated and more guided by the voice. Thomas laid out the plans. Philip follows them. When a problem arose, Thomas had Philip solve it. So this will continue into college, into medical school. We follow Philip's whole career, relationships that end tragically and horribly a lot. He becomes a well-respected psychiatrist, launching him into the manipulative puppet master game, responsible for dozens of murders. His attention to detail and choice of victims keep him alive, above the law, ahead of the law, and each kill is raised. The overwhelming perversions he has until he meets his final patient in Boone. So that's that one.
All right.
I had a lot in that one too, I know.
Yeah. I haven't seen Nightbreed in so long. I need to go back and rewatch that one.
I've always felt like the character of Dr. Decker was 10 times more fascinating than anything else going on in that movie. So that's the inspiration for this, because that's what makes me kind of like, I like Nightbreed a lot, man, but I'm disappointed because it's like, fuck, I want more Decker, and it's just not there. It's just not there. It's not about
love for Nightbreed in the comments.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Patricia's liking your ideas, saying you're coming up with some really good ideas tonight.
So these are things I would say, I don't know, maybe you guys are the same. Some of these ideas have been going around the coconut for a couple of decades, man, Certainly the Decker idea for me. I mean,
none of mine on this list, no. But like I mentioned at the top of the show, there are a couple that I did not include on my list because I'm actually writing those. So
right. Again, I
doubt I'll ever get to sell them, but
yeah, I'm trying to I've got all this shit. And I'm trying to paraphrase the things, leaving out because I put scenes in some of my descriptions, that I had to skip around. So, but yeah, I think that one would be, and that line, plain and simple death, is something he considers himself. I'm death, pure and simple. It's something he says in the movie.
Right.
And it's that calm demeanor he speaks with, and his confidence, I just think that would be a home fucking run, man. Although I don't know who you get to play him now. Cronenberg's fucking 80, so.
What about his son?
Maybe.
Isn't his son a filmmaker?
Doesn't really look like him though. That's kind of what we need here. We need that.
Well, then AI it up.
Yeah, we probably have to.
Look alike. Damn it! This plan. Come on.
I mean, Cronenberg's still working. He's still acting, so he could come in here and just get de-aged like De Niro did and Pesci did. What the fuck? I'm down. Let's do this.
Yeah. Nice. I like that one.
Yeah.
I need to go back and watch Nightbreed again though, for sure.
For sure.
Well, I mean, it's it's one of those movies where you're like, what the fuck is this? While you're watching it, it doesn't make any sense really until you get a couple viewings under your belt, and then you start to pick out what you like about it, and then the message comes through pretty strong,
Right.
Then they leave you with that fucking awesome cliffhanger with the supernatural crucified Decker in Midian. Roll credits. Thanks.
Right. All right. Time for another one?
Yep. Ready for your number 2?
Yeah. All right. Number 2. This one's probably the most desperate reach that I have, but I just thought it would be fun to see these characters together again. And I thought it would be, I mean, it would just be a fun, I think it would just be a fun movie. From Dusk Till Dawn. Now, how the fuck do we do this?
As we know, the From Dusk Till Dawn spawned a couple of sequels and a TV show.
But none of that had anything to do with Seth or
Seth
anybody.
there. None of them. The geckos aren't there. None of none of them. Nobody's there. Nobody.
No.
So,
yeah, no, I want George Clooney, Juliette Lewis back, and of course Cheech Marin to come back 4 roles just for fun, just for a throwback little thing. But Seth Gecko is being released from prison after 25 years for a stint for murder. Waiting for him on the outside is Kate Fuller, who has since the death of her family been traveling the country hunting and killing vampires. Kate needs Seth's help to infiltrate a gang to which he had ties with formerly before he went inside, because they are leading this effort to bleed every human dry. Working together, they start to pick off some of the gang one by one until, similar to the original movie, they find themselves trapped alone, unarmed, and surrounded, and the final blood-soaked battle is one for the ages, and perhaps the last time either of them will see each other again. So,
do we get to go to El Rey in this one?
I don't think so. I think it'd probably be somewhere even more.
I think you send Juliette Lewis into El Rey to get Seth. That's where they hook up again, you know?
You think he's in prison down there?
Sure, he's in the fucking worst of all prisons down there.
The El Salvador one? You don't get out of that one.
Well, he's a badass, so he's probably, you know what I mean? He probably has to scrap a lot, but I think it would be an interesting reunion.
You could probably just pick him up in El Rey, but yeah, I was thinking he got extradited back up to the States and picked up there. So he probably got caught in Mexico, but he was tried and convicted for something that happened in the States before he left. But they only got him on like one charge, and then all the others he got away from. Yeah.
Yeah, they get him for the clerk at the gas station, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't say help me.
I don't know. I liked those two characters. I think Seth Gecko is one of those characters that just I wanted more of, you know. And when they even talked about doing a sequel, I was like, cool. And then you find out it's got fucking Robert Patrick in it instead of, you know, George Clooney.
Did he play Seth?
No, he was a different character. It was just the only thing that kept those sequels kind of together, I think, at the time was the titty twister.
Yeah, you know what?
2 and 3.
I don't think I made it through Dusk Till Dawn 2 or 3. So certainly didn't get into the vampire sequels either. So
right, I don't have a whole lot more on that one. That one's, like I said, that was the biggest reach, and I didn't really have a whole lot of time to spend on that one. But
sure. I mean, I love that movie. I mean, I'd be down to see something decent come out of it.
Yeah.
Comments are liking it.
I think it'd be funny to see, you know, because Kate was kind of, you know, all weak and prissy at the beginning of the original movie, and then kind of just tired and beat at the end of it. But I think it'd be nice to see her come back as like this badass, almost, you know, Terminator 2, Sarah Connor style vampire hunter in this one, you know.
Totally unrelated, but in the same vein, I would love to see Natalie Portman come and do a professional sequel as a cleaner now. You know what I mean? I think that would fucking rule.
I was going to, if we had time, I was going to ask, okay, outside of horror, what are the legacy sequels we want to see?
Oh, jeez.
I was just going to take my Warriors versus the Supernatural stuff, you know, and go with that. You know,
I was going to go with, I have no synopsis for it. I just want to see it. Another Michael J. Fox movie, Secret of My Success.
I don't know off the top of my head. That's Jesus.
Did you know that when the champagne bottle, that to get the pressure to actually get the champagne to come out, they
Who'd they give it to?
had to hand it to Michael J. Fox before
Is that who shook up the
that's who
champagne?
took the bottle. Yeah, to get the maximum
All right. Phase next.
All right.
the cork of the. Yeah.
God damn it.
So this next one is one that I actually have like maybe a quarter of a script written and the rest of it outlined. Just an idea that floated in my head for a while. It's another G-rated horror movie. It's Gremlins.
PG,
Bit of a
buddy.
different one.
That's PG, buddy.
Is it?
Come on now, hey.
Yeah.
You don't have your dad dressed like Santa Claus, break his neck, and rot in your chimney for 6 months, unless it's PG.
That is a good point. I mean, it does feel more like a PG. I could have sworn it was listed under G, but it's whatever. That doesn't matter.
This is one of those ones that they said should have been PG-13, kind of one of the ones that inspired that.
Sure.
Right.
I get that. Well, I would want to push it to an R, if not even beyond that, because this is where it's not as much of a legacy sequel that you could kind of twist it into one if you wanted to, but my concept isn't really. It's more of a reboot in my, idea. But if you want to make it a legacy sequel, you could probably twist it into one.
You gotta bring Zach Galligan and oh shit.
BB Cates?
BB Cates back.
You
You
could,
have
but
to.
I don't know how I would do it. But the idea that I have is basically, instead of being the way that they are in the original movie, the Gremlins in this concept are a lot more, deadly. They attack you and they leave nothing but flesh and blood and organs behind. Like they cut up, they are just vicious. Like I'm talking like high budget gore for this thing.
Yeah, well, there's no gremlins flashing you with a trench coat. No gremlins, cross dressing here.
They're not wasting any time. They're
no
just after you.
Teeth, claws,
Yep.
blood.
The second you feed them after midnight and they become a monster, you're fucked. They become just a monster. And the concept that I have for my script is, it starts off with the family, they have a little mogwai, but they, feed it after midnight, attacks some shit gets fucked up. They call the cops, they capture it. And then it goes to this like animal, protection and, research lab because you're like, all right, what the fuck is this thing? What are we dealing with here? And one of the scientists lives with a pet owner who happens to bring a mogwai home. So there's this, like back and forth of the scientist not knowing that this creature that he has at home is the same as the one that this monster that he's studying in his lab. And shit goes south from there. And I don't know how much more I want to give away since this is something I have on the side. I haven't touched it in a long time. I don't know if I ever will finish it, but I don't know. It's an idea that floated in my head for a while. Yeah. Just a fucked up, bloody, but also, somewhat of a story there.
Yeah, dude. A dark
just turning the gremlins into fucking monsters.
Monster gremlins. I'm down with, like I said,
heck yeah.
No bullshit. Have them attack. But you do know they are shooting.
They're working on this one too
with Zach.
Yeah,
I have heard.
Yeah.
About that.
It's green lit. It's green lit.
Is it?
Yeah. That's the last I read on it.
I doubt it's going to be
not
as
what
bloody as yours.
Yeah. And I don't think Phoebe Cates will be in it either. But
she needs to come back.
Oh, who is that? Kevin Kline? This fucking guy got her off the market fast, didn't he? Damn. Just took her out and said, "You can't act anymore. You're done."
The mom says Phoebe Cates should do another boob scene.
That's what I was
just. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what happens. Kevin Kline goes, all you're going to have to do at home is just reenact that scene for me every day, and
in the pool.
It. Yep, that's what we're doing.
A lot of people saying they like the idea. Cannibalistic gremlins, totally into that idea. Be frightening, yeah.
Frightening, yes.
I never was huge into the original concept for them. I'm not, it's not my style of comedy, I guess. Just that's what I would prefer to see out of a creature horror film, I guess.
There's a handful of scenes in the original Gremlins, like the one where they come running down the road in lights and they're kind of hopping all over each other.
Mhm.
That shit's terrifying. So that fits your
Sure.
scheme there, man.
But yes, that is my
that's good.
Mhm.
idea.
That is good, sir.
So up next will be Ziggy.
Okay, where am I? Number 2.
Yep, number
Yep.
2.
Bear with me. This one's it's not that long. I hacked a bunch out of this.
We have time.
Obviously, I was going to take on some of my favorites in this list. I had to. So I started kicking things around, and honestly, I kind of dug with some of the stuff I was coming up with this. You tell me, maybe I'm wrong. 2005, as a young child, Michael Castle would love hearing his grandpa Nick tell scary stories about all kinds of things: sailing, fishing, even things in the fog.
Wait, what year is this?
2005.
Okay. Ironic.
Ironic. Yes. Has nothing to do with that piece of shit. Sometimes while telling these stories, Grandpa would get a very serious look in his eyes when he would get to the stories about the leper Blake and his gold. But they were just stories, and stories Michael would never forget. Michael, the great, he's the grandson of Nick Castle from The Fog. You know? We go to 2030. A new deep searching radar technology discovers the ruins of the Elizabeth Dane off the coast of Spivey Point near Antonio Bay. The dive team discovers several crew members still aboard the wreckage 50 years after the alleged last sighting of the vessel. What the crew members, they try to they want to lift it all up, but they see, okay, we can get some of these crew guys up. We're going to study them and look at them. As they touch some of these bodies, they just dissolve. They become just liquid mass under the water. Just gross. And I got some things where people go through it and breathe it in, but it doesn't affect them or anything. It doesn't possess them or anything like that, but just grossness, nasty. They find one chamber, though, where some of the bodies seem to be in better shape than the rest. They also find a large gold crucifix. So they start to raise the boat. They're trying to get it to the surface. They take the gold and some of these books they find down there and the bodies. Strange happenings and disappearances begin to happen around the town. And before long, Michael hears about them, who shows up to investigate the stories that he'd only heard of via his grandpa. Nobody wants to acknowledge the events of 1980, man. It never happened. And people get pissed when it's brought up. Until Michael finds one person who's willing to talk to him. His name was Andy Wayne, the son of Stevie Wayne, the DJ from The Fog, the original.
Mm-hmm.
He confirms not only the events of 1980, but also Blake's current return. They find themselves as the last hope of Antonio Bay and what they must do to stop Blake once and for all. So that's where I got with that.
I like that.
I didn't take too much with it because there's more there, but I had to hack it all out because it was just too revealing. But I was having fun with that, man.
I had a feeling. I even had The Fog on my working list, but I pulled that and I pulled a couple of mine just because I thought you would have them. So
sure,
that was definitely one of them. I like that though. I like your take on it.
Being able to go to Andy Wayne, who's now pushing 60, and this other guy's a little younger and stuff. But I mean, they're going to work together and. There's a few face-offs in this and some other relatives of other people you might know in this. So, and I think it would be a good story, man. I think it would work.
Anybody from, you could get Stevie, or you could probably get Stevie Wayne to make a cameo.
Well, she would be about 90,
but
yeah. And same thing. I thought about that with Nick Castle as well, but I think in my story, they're beyond.
Okay. I was just trying to think. Cool.
Of course, I would love to have Nick Castle back there.
Oh yeah. I don't know if he could. He's kind of in.
Yeah, he was 40 in 1980. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And now it's 2030. I mean, he's 100 years old. You know?
2025.
Very nice.
My
All right.
movie, though.
Very nice.
I didn't quite go 100 years. I went 50 just to kind of make it. You know, I couldn't put my brain 100 years past 1980. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this will work in 2030. So yeah, I was thoroughly enjoying writing that. So
Yeah, I like that one.
Some folks are saying the fog made him uncomfortable, which good. That's what it's supposed to do.
Hell yeah.
the more
It's a
I
great
see,
movie.
the more I see Halloween, the more I see all the Carpenter movies. The Fog. I mean, I understand people that don't like it and think it's an inferior, like it's not. There's nothing to it. I disagree with that aspect of the assertions of it, but I mean, it's becoming my top Carpenter, man.
I love the simplicity of it because
Yeah.
I've always loved those old just ghost stories, man.
True.
I mean, it's basically a haunted house story, but
Without a
on
house.
bay.
Yeah,
you
with a
know?
bay and
Yeah.
the
That's a good way to put it.
fucking haunts can go anywhere. I mean,
Right.
And dude, some of those fucking scenes, man, that goddamn lighthouse scene is that is terrifying to the 9th degree, man. That is scary. Your helplessness, you're hanging on to this fucking thing. First of all, you can't see shit because of the fog, and you got assholes swinging fucking weapons at you all the way around. Terrifying. No way.
Hell no. Well, Craig, you ready to?
Yep. Let's do it
All right.
because we got to rattle through these.
Yeah, that's true. We got 20
Well,
minutes ish for 3 more. I think we're okay.
Yeah. All right. Last one for me. This is the one I think I would, if I was going to actually write any one of these, it would probably be this one. Just because I would like to dive into this world. Now, this one does have a sequel. Or no, let me rephrase that. This one has a remake that had a deleted scene that was taken out of the remake that would have made it a legacy sequel. But since they took that deleted scene out, it is not a legacy sequel. So, not that it matters, but I love this movie. I really fucking do. I think it's one of Joel Schumacher's best films, Flatliners. I've been obsessed with this movie since it came out and since I saw it. The cast is great. The style of the original film, I love the lighting. I love the mood. I love the story. I love the, your sins coming back to haunt you kind of shit. I love this stuff. Now, my idea, I will admit, is slightly similar to what was it, 2011 remake or whatever it was, that honestly I thought sucked when I first saw it. I watched it again just because I wanted to make sure I wasn't yanking too many of the ideas from it. But I think mine's a better take. And I didn't hate the remake as much as I thought. So, anyway, years after the original film, a group of medical students at Loyola University, I can't say that, are rehashing the urban legend of the original storyline. A former med student who tried to find out what happens after we die. It's become more of an urban legend around the medical school at this college. So, the one telling the story says he believes a story and has actually perfected the process, planning to test out his theory. He shows him a small warehouse he's rented and turned into a makeshift medical lab, complete with stolen equipment from the school's hospital. The same dreams and nightmares begin to follow the main characters, including the lead character's narrow survival of a school shooting earlier in his life and other harrowing tales. It turns out he was the one that bullied the school shooter so much that he was the target, but he got saved when he was younger. So, all of the characters' past offenses are coming back to haunt him. And Nelson Wright, who Kiefer Sutherland's character, who's now an esteemed yet difficult professor at the school, discovers what the students are up to and calls in a couple of his old pals to help, David and Rachel Labratio, Kevin Bacon and Joey Roberts, who are now married and working for Doctors Without Borders. In a tense climactic finale, the remaining team of old and new students pull themselves out of the nightmares, but for how long? So that's all I put down on this one. But this is the one, if I was going to actually sit down and work on something, this is the one I would like to work on. But so.
I'd be into it. Comments just into it.
I would do the setups and the procedures exactly the same way and make it unique to the sins of the people. And like how you know what I'm saying? To make that fucking, you said it like a shooter like that, a school shooter. That's fucked up, dude. That's fucking deep. That's deep. So
well, and like his reality of what happened with the school shooter is, you know, people are just dropping all around and he falls to the ground and the guy is like right on him. But then all of a sudden you hear, drop it, pop, pop, pop. And, you know, the cops take him out right before he can get shot. So, but and it's
like a misfire that just kind of goes like right by his ear hole and shit or something. Woo.
Yeah. But maybe there's a, you know, or I shouldn't say maybe, it's not really discovered that he was the main target, but he was the bully that pushed that guy.
Well, of course,
to be the school shooter.
As all those sins are revealed, you know, Billy Mahoney and all that, you know, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's pretty good, man. That's not bad.
And I know it's a sensitive subject, but I don't like the fact that we're not making films about what happens after school shootings.
Sure.
You know, like the and it doesn't have to be a horror film, but I mean, you know, we're really not, the art of filmmaking is not really using that as a subject matter. You know what I mean?
I think people are scared to. I don't know. American
Horror Story did, you know, in the first season, but you know, it was 10 minutes out of a 10 episode, you know, 10 hour basically show. So I think it's just too much of a cultural phenomenon, for lack of a better word, that we need to be exploring artistically.
I think a lot of people too are just going like, you know what? They don't want to be responsible for sensationalizing that and capturing that on film, and then some fucking nutballs like, oh, all right, that's what I'm gonna do. You know,
I'm not saying sensationalize it, but you
know what I mean. I'm just saying maybe that's in the back of their heads going, oh, geez, you know, that exactly is like kind of a hot topic, you know. So unless you have a really riveting fucking story, which that would probably work there. I mean, again, you're not going to have your whole movie about a school shooting. It's just
I mean, that'd be one scene, but he would keep going back to that school.
Of course. Yeah.
You know,
well, it's part of that trauma, and that's fine. I mean, dude, come on. I mean, all that shit was pretty rank. The bad stuff that was happening to him and the way everything went black light when they were in that fucking death world and everything.
Dude, and I love the style that he used for that, with all the lighting, especially, and the music, and even his camera movements throughout a lot of that movie. I think it's a very underrated. I think it's a very underrated film for him.
That movie's not even a horror movie, and it's scarier than many.
Sure.
It's a subgenre of horror. God damn it.
Oh, when fucking, you know, like when she sees her dad all showing up and everything, dude, that fucking was messed up, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of comments in agreement with you. A lot of good comments in general.
Thank you.
We should probably move on, though, just to
move on.
Yep.
All right. Huh. So I guess I'll be bringing the mood back up a little bit.
Oh, geez.
This one's not as much of a serious. This was actually very nerdy. The nerdy side of phase is going to be coming out, as it does with Colonel sometimes. So my number one is Alien. probably pretty obvious would be is either going to be that or The Thing, which you guys are so positive it's so easy to do, but I don't think so. But
Hey,
I didn't say easy to do.
I couldn't
I
come
just-
up with anything I thought was good for a couple of them. I was like, God damn, I just can't. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. But The Thing is one of them. But Alien is your choice.
right. I don't know how I'd make this a legacy sequel. At least I'm not sure who I'd bring back. You could kind of pick anyone, I guess. Any of the survivors. Like, you know, it doesn't matter who leads this thing.
Let's go to the Android factory and start there.
I mean, if you want to do that too, but just my idea is, I mean, I initially got into Alien because I really liked the video game Metroid on the Super Nintendo.
Bullshit.
And other titles within the series. So I was thinking, what if there was an Alien movie that took inspiration from the Metroid story, where you got one character leading the story, they infiltrate a planet that's infested by the xenomorphs, and the goal is to plant a bomb in the center of the planet, arm it, and then get the fuck out of there, get out of Dodge. And the movie ends with the planet blown up. There's a whole bunch of killing xenomorphs and hunting and
Spoiler alert.
shit. Yeah, spoiling my own idea here, but it's just I don't know. That's my idea.
We can spoil these.
I think I would be so fucking into that concept. The nerd in me would be like, yeah.
Now,
But then they would get sued by Nintendo.
yeah, I was going to say, wouldn't you just call it Metroid?
I mean, exactly. It would just be a fucking ripoff.
Yeah, you
There
could
was a video game that kind of took some Metroid inspiration, Alien Isolation, which, was in the Alien IP. So, they could just make a movie based off of that, too.
Yeah.
But yes, that is my number one idea.
Number one,
Oh.
Alien.
It's never going to happen.
Yeah.
It's silly, but I love it.
But Tarek says, I knew it would be Alien for Face.
Of course.
Join the club. We all knew.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it could have been Star Trek taking a horror route.
Going the horror route?
Yeah.
That's what I would love to do with Star Trek. That would probably be my non-horror pick, is to take Star Trek and make it horror. All right. Ziggy?
Yep.
Ready for
And finally, right?
numero uno?
Fuck, where am I at here? Oh. Okay. Now I know what you're thinking. Yes, I already kind of said City of the Living Dead. I couldn't do it. I couldn't condense it cool enough into 2 paragraphs. If I was going to do that, like I said, I would have had characters from the 3 we have going to find the other 4 doors and close them. It would have been something to that effect. Awesome, but it would have taken a lot of paragraphs to do it. So instead, I went to another tentpole of my favorites from the 80s. A total independent, the Tommy McLaughlin classic, One Dark Night, Another Dark Night. Yes.
We've talked about this one a little bit before.
Don't hate the title. A long shot into a mental facility. We see Julie Wells asleep as she dreams of the events from just a few weeks ago at this time. The face of Raymar, the endless corpses crowding every line of sight. She wakes up screaming. We see doctors assessing that she's going to be here for a long time. 10 years later, Julie is now well enough to try to begin to rebuild her life. She just can't let go of those horrific details from that night at the mausoleum. She sees those. She has living, awake nightmares. So she could be like in her own house and corpses will start coming out of the walls and shit. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. Raymar's in every mirror looking at her, staring at her. The only people she stays in touch with these days, she's friends with Leslie, the one sister that didn't go to the mausoleum to fuck with her. They're the best friends now. And they're kind of, she knows, she does feel responsible. Leslie feels totally responsible for getting Julie where she is, even though she had no idea and is skeptical on some of the stories she hears. But she's also visited by Melissa Newman, Raymar's daughter, who seems to be, she's there to calm her and help her get through it and understand. And do you feel anything, any residual stuff? But the whole time she's obsessed with her dad still, just like she was in the first one. She never stopped studying. And something happened when she faced her father in the mausoleum. Something came back with Melissa. So basically, Melissa starts showing up more and more, and the visions only worsen, and not even Leslie can calm her down these days. It's real, like Raymar did get into Melissa is what this is. And she is now trying to bring Raymar back this way. He's trying to get back through his daughter. Just total disregard of that whole thing. The love and trying to hide Melissa back, Raymar keeping her away from it all, is out the fucking window now. He's trying to use her to get directly back, to get to Julie and finish it. But it's up to Leslie, Julie, and whoever else is there now to stop it. And that's where we're going to go. We'll have a big conflict. I don't know if we're going to get the actual Raymar or we're just going to have visions of it, but that's where I'm going with that one. And you know what I mean? I just had to. It's like it's my fucking fun movie. I know I could have fun with those corpses scenes. I'd have a lot of corpses following people around, coming out of fucking, you know what I mean? They'd be looking at the picture. It'd be like, oh, it's a Mona Lisa reprint. And then, here comes, boom, arms and hands, zombies coming out and crawling all over the place. Just in her head. It'll be fucking sick. But I would love to do it. I would love to see it. I have a big, long story on this too, but I had to, This is the one I went like 4 pages and went, what the fuck am I doing, man? So I was like, this is,
nice,
I went deep.
I had a feeling that would make your list at some point, but
because it was doable and it was plausible to me. I like Melissa is now my antagonist, and
and we even talked with Tommy about this.
Yes,
a little bit.
So I let it fly. I just pulled out the stoppers and said, let's see where this shit goes.
Right. I will say this: I'm shocked. No Behind the Mask.
I'll be honest, it didn't really occur to me,
I mean, we've talked about that like multiple times. Though.
I know that. But I mean, in the grand scheme, I think
I didn't think about it on this list.
These other stories are way more compelling to me than doing just a direct sequel, because it would have to be for Leslie Vernon, or if we're going to prequel it, I have the comic books already. I could, you know what I mean? You just adapt those before The Mask, where what's his face? Scott Wilson teaches him how to do it, and how to be a killer and everything. So that would be awesome.
Yeah.
We're going to just throw this graphic up since I made it.
Nope.
Then get you guys.
There we go. Uh-oh. Not going to switch. Not going to switch this late in the game.
Oh, they don't switch?
You would have to disconnect and then come back in.
Damn. Well, we'll just got to deal with it then.
Yeah.
Your list bleeds into mine anyway, because you have such, I left your original titles, like your titles in there too.
Those, I mean, I like the fact that they're all, we tried to avoid it anyway, but we didn't end up having any duplicates, so.
Right.
Nope. Not a chance. And like, again, if I would have had the time and a little more time to cook it, because I was kind of coming up with all that shit today. I was like, oh, fuck, the other 4 doors that we never see for the gates of hell, you know what I mean? I could do this. And I actually had all 3 of the characters. I had the Katarina McCalls, all 3 of them, like working together, unaware that they're the same person, of course. And it would have been fun. It would have been neat to do it like that. But I mean, what else is there? I mean, got Evil Dead. I mean, you can do some Romero stuff, I guess. I mean, but a different side of the world. That's all I could really come up with for those kind of things.
That's a good list, though. And a lot of them don't have any kind of real sequels,
or never will be either.
Yeah, right. or won't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'd say maybe the Evil Dead one is plausible.
7.
Maybe
8, 9. 9 of those don't have any sequels, nor probably any chance for one. So that's not bad.
I wasn't really thinking about that because I was like, if I'm going to do a sequel, I think what I would come up with would be better with what exists already, so I would absolutely take it on.
Well, like I said, Halloween sequel would be easy to do.
Yeah, none of those even came to mind. Like Jason, Freddy, none of them ever entered my brain in this assignment.
Fair enough.
I was like, no, there's other things that deserve it more than they do for this kind of thing.
I guess if I was going to do a legacy sequel to any of those kind of things that didn't include like my Friday the 13th story, I would do a sequel to the 2009 Friday the 13th remake. I'd like to see that.
For Friday the 13th, there's only one place I will ever go, and that is Savini Jason style. That story. Jason goes to hell and gets the trident
after 9.
Oh yeah, dude. Whatever it is, wherever that takes place, wherever he becomes the fiery Jason, that's what I want to see. That's the story.
That would be fun.
Yeah, it'd be something different,
Tyrone, I'm shocked no Twin Peaks. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I left that one alone because there is a excellent legacy sequel to Twin Peaks, which came out in 2017 on Showtime, the 18-part miniseries. And back in the early 2010s, I actually did write the pilot script for like either a miniseries or a limited series that would have done that. And it starts with, I'll just do this. It starts with a pair of black high heels tapping their way down a long hallway, cameras following right behind. You don't really see anything about that. And then, you get to an office, the door opens up and she goes, Director Cole, and David Lynch turns around and is like, yeah. And she goes, we've heard from him. We found Coop. And then the movie starts, or the credits start. So, but yeah, I mean, there was an idea there, but I'm not going to do it here because it's already been done and I didn't want to do it. So.
Plus I couldn't really, it's hard to do 10 years, 25 years on like Friday the 13th and Halloween and stuff like that, I mean, yeah, we have enough to play with there. And the Jamie Lloyd idea is molested territory at this point. So
for now,
yeah,
but I mean, I'm completely shocked no fan film has gotten a hold of her and done something with her, but
especially when she seems kind of willing if the money was right,
Dude, they don't make a whole bunch even for the movies they do. So
I know that, but I mean, they like Terry Kaiser and Lar Park Lincoln, they got a couple of bucks to come and do those appearances and those.
Of course,
things, I mean, that's what I'm saying. To come out and do a couple hours of shooting. That's all she would have to do. They signed her the whole thing, then yeah, they're gonna have to pay.
Well, still, you're paying basically scale.
Yeah.
For them, I mean, it's not like they're asking $3 million a picture or anything like that.
To dig the script, I think, to have to be something to it, and then I think she would be in, I mean, but
I wonder if anybody has sent her a script that was worth a damn,
Well, every time we've asked her that, she's like, nope, haven't seen nothing, not one thing.
Yeah, but it's been a couple years now.
Now it's been a couple. Well, last time was Days of the Dead. We asked her that, her and Scout.
Yeah. Well, but now they're focused on writing their own stuff, or not writing their own stuff, but doing their own films now. So I'm curious to see some of those.
Yeah.
I saw that one's coming too, that Ghost or whatever that I saw a trailer for it. So, I mean, looks like it could be a bloodbath. So
yeah,
interesting.
Yeah.
But wow, dude, this was fun, man. I mean, to do this kind of list, because this ain't, you can't just pull this shit out of your ass unless you're phased, I guess. Right at the last minute,
dude.
What do you mean?
No, I'm just kidding, man. Just to come up with this kind of stuff on actual properties and deliver a cohesive, make sense, something you'd want to see story. It's not real easy to do, man.
Right.
And,
No, I like this because it reminded me of the old pitch meetings, So, how would you bring this back? Ooh, well, never saw the original, so you got another one? But and I feel like studios are doing this with writers right now, saying, hey, here's a list of all of our properties. Do you have any ideas of how to bring any of these back so we could do a legacy sequel or a reboot or a remake or a requel, whatever you want to fucking call them? I mean, that seems to be what they're doing.
They never get the right one, though, man. They always get they pick one next to it. It's like, I know that script's in there. It's got to be getting handed in. A real fan's got to be in that room writing these scripts too, and they're just not getting picked. They go different, or it does get picked, and then they all got a bunch of notes, so that changes everything and ruins the essence of it. And
right, yeah. And I'll say this, I mean, obviously, any of these, I would love to be involved in working on or writing of or, filming of, but, obviously we don't have the means for it, but
yeah,
if you guys do, have at it. Just put our name on it. Somewhere.
Right.
All right. Out of all your lists, pick one that you would say Flatliners, Crank, an Alien View phase for sure.
But I would lean more Gremlins actually for that idea. Not mine.
Yeah, I think I would probably go the Nightbreed or the Evil Dead, probably, if I really, really wanted to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But that Nightbreed is just
that one is fun.
So intriguing just to be
that
able
one is fun.
Play with an actual slasher like that, and you can make it a really good slasher like that.
We need to do sometime in the future, especially maybe before 28 years later, or I Know What You Did Last Summer comes out or whatever. We need to do a list of just our favorite legacy sequels. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Probably be Psycho 2 on the top of all those.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's more coming.
What was did Colonel tell you something?
Yeah, he did.
That's true. Yeah, what did he?
Colonel had one. He threw one at me, and he was going to take Nancy from Friday the 13th, Part 6. She's the one that found the bloody machete in the cabin.
The little girl?
Little girl.
Okay.
And he was just to come out of left field, we'll focus on her and her plights after that. But that's all he said. He said, I'm going to focus on Nancy. That's it. So that's where Colonel's head was tonight.
I got you.
I like it.
Yes.
He did go to Friday.
There you go. That would probably be my number one, Doc. That's why I was just like, maybe.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I've actually put together my list, so.
Oh, shit.
That's pretty good.
Tyrone says we all did a great job, except for my fuck-up phase. Well, just kidding. I love you, Tyrone. Hope you've been doing well, man.
Yep.
Well, shall we wrap
all
this
the all up? All the members should have gotten their new shirt, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Why don't you show it off?
Yeah, go ahead and show it. I'll give you the.
Nope.
Whoops.
Okay.
There it is.
There's the new member design, folks.
Yeah.
Retro action.
Beautiful.
I wore mine a while back and got a ton of compliments, even from like the 20-year-olds, man. They were just like, I love your retro shirt. I was like, thank you.
It's just neat. And yeah, man. It's coming up with cool shirts. That's what we do.
Yeah. I think we'll have to put this one in the store at some point, though. So,
oh yeah,
that one will be
someday.
And then we got I'm not showing that off, but we got another product. I can't show it off yet. So,
Oh, you can't.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
that's a surprise.
We're getting there.
Yep.
But it's close.
Yep. I didn't see them in the chat at all.
They've been coming in earlier, but I don't know.
I mean, I
Quieter
don't
night
remember.
tonight.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of them, like mom, dad,
Right.
or the twins.
Grizz, no Grizz, no twins, no
I don't think
Paul.
Gina or Bill either.
Well, he's been going to work at 11:30, so he can't really.
Oh, damn.
He's sleeping now. So
Okay. That's okay.
he says he watches the next day.
Oh, cool.
Who does, Bill?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's his deal.
We'll see him in a few weeks anyway. So
Oh, yeah.
he did comment earlier though. He got his
Yeah.
shirt though. I saw that.
Nice.
I saw him too.
Oh, okay.
Here, a couple more weeks. See you in Texas.
Yeah. All
I'm
right.
jealous.
Let's wrap this
Well,
up.
Yeah, we're over.
Do the
Yeah.
do the stuff.
Oh,
do the
I'll
things
go
with
ahead
the
and do the
people
stuff
and
again.
The stuff.
There it is.
Gotta thank the greatest members of them all for the DCS. We got our final girls and guys: Christy, C-Phase, Lorena, BD Mags, Alex, Robert, and Tyrone. Our Crazy Ralph tier, we've got Bell's Fancy Creations, Dr. Smiley, Morgan Crypt Horror, Raymond, and the whole Damage a lot of pod. And I also call this the advertisement tier because besides Raymond, they're all brands.
Right.
But then the camp counselors, we've got Adam, Christopher, Corey, Christy, Luke, Lou, Jimmy and Rachel, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Chuck Schick,
Chuck.
Dave Smithson, Carl, Patricia, Kristen, and JJ.
See?
We'll
You
get to
want to
see
become
JJ
a
here.
member?
We'll get to see JJ here in a couple of weeks too at Texas because
Oh,
I think
sweet.
he might come in on Sunday.
Awesome. Man, I love meeting the members. I'm going to miss that too. It's all right. But if you want to become a member, you take your ass over to deathcursesociety.com. Up in that URL there, you click on that membership tab, pick yourself a tier that works for you. Make sure you got your debit card handy. We love you guys. And yeah, we'll throw this one up here too.
Thanks to him down there, that guy.
Minus the minor screw ups, but it's okay.
We'll forgive you this time.
We're
Man,
gonna prop his eyelids open like
I blame Google because that's the first one they fucking gave me, man. And it's just I wasn't thinking.
We'll have to prop his eyes open like the Kubrick film
Oh,
Clockwork
man.
Orange and make him watch both movies.
Yep. No false metal phase.
Damn.
All right, next week.
Yes, next week.
Let's tell them.
Next week we're doing a bit of a preview. We're going to do a little bit of a preview of what's going to be happening down at Texas Frightmare Weekend here in just a few weeks. But we have a special guest coming in. That's right. Adam Marcus is going to join the show and talk about the Hearts of Darkness premiere. We're going to talk about the one that happened overseas a couple months ago.
Yep. Scotland.
In Scotland. And then we'll talk about what to expect in Texas at Dallas. And then, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's always a fun time with Adam.
Yep.
And maybe if we feel froggy, we'll get an update about what happened in Pennsylvania. Has anybody gotten their money back up in Pennsylvania?
Oh, man. Well,
I know.
You got to make sure he's okay with,
I know one person that has
got
gotten
money
money
back.
Yep.
One out of the circle.
out of the people that we knew. Yes.
For God's sake.
Rick's going to be the dead last just because
Because he teamed up with us.
Yeah, that's it. But I mean, I don't know. Like I said, that guy is interesting. So yeah, as long as Adam's willing to discuss it, I've got no problem discussing it because this dude is,
Like I said, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're going to talk about it, but maybe.
No. If he's good, then yeah, we can see, But Adam, you can watch us grovel our way onto the VIP list at the premiere, filming at Texas Frightmare.
We're producers. We're part of it. We're in there.
We're in. but we got to get the confirmation. No, it'll be fun though. Adam's always great, and it's been a long fucking time. This guy has got a motor on him, so we will have to get our interjections ready so we can keep the conversation balanced. But yeah, Adam fucking Marcus hits DCS next week, man. So get ready.
That's right. All righty, folks. That's it. Send them out, Ziggy.
All right.
Yeah, man. Glad I didn't miss out on this because this is just too cool. I still think we could sit and we could put up, like ad libs, make a script, it right in here with the crowd, with the audience. It would be so much fun. But doing stuff like this, we've just got to make this like a regular feature, like every couple of months. Just do something like this, where we write scripts, something, a little something, like that.
Interesting. Have to use our brains a little bit.
Yes, because it was very fun and very satisfying, and it makes me want to write more. So
I like it.
Yeah, for sure. But man, thank you guys, and thanks for dealing with it. Hopefully, it was entertaining for you as it was for us. And Adam fucking Marcus next week, man. What else is there to say? We'll see you next week.
Rick says get Michael Felcher too, the director. He may join, but we haven't gotten confirmation on that. We may have a few guests next week. So yeah, get ready, FaZe, because you may have to organize some winders.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Send them out.
All right, folks. Thank you all for watching. Got to do it for Colonel every week. Gosh, it's like I always forget it too.
Don't get sick.
Don't get sick. Wash your dick. Don't smell like a Scuba Steve. Use Summer's Eve.
And I'll tag this on the end of Colonel's. Lick Jenny Penn's asshole. Go ahead, Crank.
Oh my God.
Good God.
I'm not. No, this is y'all fuck with that. I ain't fucking with that.
You don't
There's
want to close
one
that?
show on the planet that's signing off with Lick Jenny Penn's asshole. Okay, that's why we're doing it.
The one show.
The one.
That's
show.
why.
Oh my God.
Yes. Let's go ahead, FaZe. Proceed. Was that it?
See you next week, folks. Yeah, I'll be around. I'll be around next week, especially since I'm there.
Well, yeah, with Adam, I think it's a pretty safe bet that Crank will be here. If we let him in, we'll see.
You let him in.
Credits, yeah.
All right,
no, it's fine. Cool.
Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next week. And woo!
Rock and roll!
Just in the middle of a dream. I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late, 'cause then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. It was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. Why I don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
Hi, this is Danielle Harris, and you're watching Death Curse Society.